fans, and welcome to the Raider Nation podcast, and I am pumped. Victorious the Raiders are. Oakland Raiders 19, Dallas Cowboys 13. It was a nail-biter all the way down to the last couple seconds of the game, absolutely. And I bet no one was in their seats most of the game. But especially in that last 2 minutes. I wasn't on my seat, that's for sure. And I did see a whole lot of blue jerseys out there, and it was wonderful to see. And I'm sure if you didn't do it, you should have turned to the Cowboy fan and went, "What's up with that?" Because I would have done that right after the game. I hope you did. I know a couple people were a little bit too boisterous because there were a lot of fights. I guess 30 people got arrested. What, a 60,000, 30? That's not too bad. You know, anytime anything happens at the Coliseum, I guess someone got stabbed, and I guess that's relative because they must not have been stabbed too bad because they went to the hospital and were released right away. Must have been some kind of a little stabbing because when you get stabbed, you stay in the hospital for a long time or you never make it out. Long story short, I'm sure there's many stabbings in the NFL, but anytime there's anything that happens, of course, the Oakland Raiders, it becomes international news. You know, which is just the way it is. It goes along with our penalties, and I don't want to get into that right now. I will get into it later in the show. First of all, I want to go off with some great positives. First thing, Jankowski, thank you. Thank you for being the champion that I knew you could be. I said at the last podcast, I said you were in a slump, and you are back, baby. You not only made 4 out of 4 kicks, field goals. They were beautiful field goals. They were right down the center. They were crisp. They had all the height in the world. There was no doubt about the fact that you made those field goals, and they were perfect. That's one thing. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that you kicked your kickoffs into the end zone every single time. Putting our opponents on the 20-yard line to start is where our defense needs to be to make things happen. That is a crucial part of the game. It showed in this game how important the kicking game is. You cannot expect to kick the ball to a guy and have him stop at the 20-yard line. Most of the time when you get that ball and it gets to a receiver back there, a return guy, I mean, he could, 25, 29, 35. So you need to get that ball into the end zone so they don't have an opportunity to make any great field position, so it gives our defense a chance to do something. Now, that was great. Jankowski, hats off to you. Cheers, 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 brother. You stood up just like I knew you could. You were in a slump. Now, let's finish off the season with a great kicking game. Okay, now, another thing that was beautiful that I found to be very important, Lamont Jordan. 126 yards on 26 carries, 4.8 yards per carry. That's what we need to see. 5 yards per carry would be better, but still, excellent play. You ran with passion. You took the ball. Not only did you take the ball, you took responsibility for taking the ball. All week long before the game, don't blame it on the offensive line. Blame it on me. I'm the guy. And by being that way, you create a sense of team. And if Raider fans didn't notice it, we have a team. We don't just have players. We have a cohesive team that, like I said before, when they start to gel, when they're gelling, things are going to happen. And defense, unbelievable. At the beginning of the season, the question was, what about the defense? What about the defense? Well, my question is, what about the offense? And I will get to that later in the podcast. Lamont Jordan, stellar runs, stellar drives, excellent effort. No fumbles, kept the ball, great yardage, excellent running. And he made it. When it didn't happen for the hole, he bumped out to the outside. He made positive yards on every run. Even if he got stuffed, at least he made a yard. Now, great play. Thank you, Lamont Jordan. You played a great game. Offensive line, you guys were on your job, on your job, because you did bump some holes, and we did have some lanes for him to run in. So the offensive line really put it together, And along with Lamont Jordan's ability to bump to the outside if nothing was happening, great play, Raiders. Great play. Now, the next one I want to go to, Warren Sapp on a four-man front. Can you see him on the inside? I talked about this way before we started playing football, Raider fans. Warren Sapp needed to be on the inside because that's where he makes his most. That's where things happen for Warren Sapp. His impression happens in the middle. And boy, did he impress. The Cowboys Statue of Liberty quarterback Bledsoe had nowhere to go. There was nothing for him to do except for look for the big 99 because he was watching for him every play. Every play Warren got in there, our front four offensive line did a great job. The defensive line did a great job. And we did do some great blitzes. We had some excellent blitzes, put some pressure on them, and it was great to see the defense stand up to a whole new level. Best game they've played, best game they have played. And if it wasn't for this defense, we'd have been hurting. The defense did an excellent job, including the secondary. The secondary did an outstanding job. I'm so pleased with the defense has come up on this game. I can't even tell you, because a lot of these complaints we had throughout the other games in the season have been taken care of by Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan, hats off to you for making adjustments. You did a great job. Even after the half, you did a great job. And you kept after these guys. You kept after. It was aggressive defense. That's what the Raider fans want to see, and that's what wins ball games. You did a great job. Derek Gibson got his second sack in his career in this game. That was excellent because Derek got moved to a different position, like Charles Woodson got moved to free safety. He got moved to punt returner. They used him a lot more in different positions in this game than they ever have. That's just flexibility. That's what you want to see in your coaching, is moving people around. Excellent job. Raiders, excellent job. Now, third down conversions. This is the offense. 2 out of 10 in many games. Won't cut it. Okay? It worked against the Cowboys. Okay, that's what they got. Measly 20%. That was great for the defense because we didn't allow them to get third down conversions. On our third down conversions, we did a great job. Kerry Collins threaded the needle to Randy Moss on that one that I was totally happy with. Now, Raider fans, when you're talking about a game like this, and I did talk about other things. Let me continue on with the defense because I'm gonna go off on a tangent, and I can't do that right now. Kirk Morrison, if he continues to show his excellence in play, we have a great player on our hands. I've talked about it before. He will be a great linebacker, and he already showed that in this game. The defensive secondary, where did they come from? Because they shut down the Cowboys. Drew Bledsoe had nobody to throw to, and he was running around looking for something to happen. Now, they did get some plays in there, but nothing like we've had in the last 3 games. Now, let me go on to say this. On the first drive of the game, we went down to the 4-yard line of the Cowboys. Lamont Jordan, 2 runs with nothing. Why didn't we use Zach Crockett? Can someone tell me? Was I the only fan wondering where Zach Crockett was? Zach Crockett is money in those situations. He always has been, and I don't understand. Norv Turner, I will say it now, and I don't care if you Raider fans agree with him or not. He's not the coach for the Raiders. He is not the coach for the Raiders. I don't know who's calling these plays, but I'll tell you what. Every fan I've talked to, every fan, where is Crockett? How come we didn't get Crockett to bust it in there at least one time to let them know we're going down the middle? Crockett is money. 2 yards, 3 yards, every play. He is money. And that's what we should have done on that drive. We left the touchdown there. That also goes to the red zone. Let's just reflect on the red zone play. It was not very good. 4 field goals does not show anybody that we're serious. those 4 field goals, we could take away one of them. The other 3 should have been touchdowns. We were close enough. We had enough play. And why didn't we use Randy Moss? Where is Randy Moss? When you're in a situation like that, you have your big playmaker, who is open, by the way. I don't understand it. That's a Norv Turner thing, and that's also a Kerry Collins thing. I'm not sold on Collins. Yes, he has a great passer rating. Tell me, Raider fans, write to me. Email me at www.RaiderNationPodcast.com. You can put on the comments page anything you like. Please do. I'd love to hear your comments, or you can write me an email. Either one. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'll tell you this. When I, as a fan, can say something like, "Where's Crockett?" and I can have that echoed all the way down the aisle and everywhere around, what does that say to you? Are we all wrong? Is the entire Coliseum wrong when we're wondering where Crockett is on those short yardage plays we need? Am I the only fan who wonders how come we're not throwing the ball to Randy Moss as much? Now, I understand that Courtney Anderson, great player, great job. But I will tell you, more than one time, more than one play, too many plays, there were way wide open receivers that Collins did not see. What is up with that? His touchdown, his passer rating is great, and I believe it's because he doesn't take a chance. When he threw the ball to Randy Moss over the center in coverage, I said, great, maybe we can get some more of these plays. Maybe we get some more of these where Collins will take an opportunity to throw the ball to somebody else, okay, that's open. I don't know about you. Lamont Jordan was open several times in the flat, never got the ball. Incomplete pass or threw it out of bounds. This idea of him throwing the ball out of bounds in certain situations I absolutely agree with. However, I will not agree that Kerry Collins is the man for the job. We have to see what happens the rest of the season. But as far as I can see, 4 field goals does not give me any confidence in the quarterback. Our quarterback needs to be a leader, not only emotional and mentally, but he has to be a leader in his actions. He has to lead the team down the field by making the decisions it takes to get into the end zone. Our red zone play, it blows. And that showed dramatically in this game. I mean, when you're on the 20-yard line, the 15-yard line, the 10-yard line, and you can't punch that ball in by running it or passing it, we have a lot of problems, especially when you're playing the Cowboys. I mean, they're not a strong team. You know, we have a team called the Chargers coming up. We better be up 10 notches because we got a game to play. There's nothing we can do about Collins except watch him play. I'm just telling you like it is. I'm telling you like I see it. Gibson improved. I hope he continues to improve. Woodson, money. He did make a bad play, you know, with letting that guy go, not completing the play and getting the guy down the ground or throwing him out of bounds. That cost us a touchdown. That's what am I going to say about that? It happens in the NFL. Well, yeah, it happens, but it shouldn't happen to the Oakland Raiders. But there you go. It happened. Courtney Anderson, money again, great job. What can I say about you? Randy Moss, he's the Moss factor, and I still don't see him being used enough. If we don't throw the ball to Randy Moss, nobody else is going to think we're going to do it. And the whole idea of him being a decoy is not going to work. It's not going to work. One long ball to him. Yes, he got one long ball. We got to watch him. However, we need to use him more. We need to use him a lot more. Now, the penalty on Warren Sapp. What can I say? Another penalty. You know, I've told you before. I told you that these referees need to be held accountable. I'd love to see them get fined when they make bad calls. That was a bad call. There's no way that Warren Sapp roughed the quarterback. Because if Warren wanted to rough the quarterback, he could have not only thrown him down, but he could have thrown him down with his full weight on top of him on his head. I mean, that was not Bledsoe's a big guy. What, 6'4", 230 pounds? He's a big guy. And what he's going to try to do is get away. Even if he's in your clutches, man, he's still trying to get away. He's trying to weasel out of that. If he got away and threw a touchdown, do you think anybody'd say anything? No. They'd say Sapp should have tackled him. What is he supposed to do? There's no way that should have been a flag. Even the opposing fans know that that's wrong, and I've heard it from more than one of them. Okay. Ryan's coaching was excellent. Turner's coaching, once again, it's a questionable thing. When he's not calling, like I said, Crockett to make those short gains, then we have to use him. Crockett is money, and he's in great shape. Now, we lost Jake Grove to an injury. He's probably going to be out 2 games. But I believe his replacement will take care of business. He's played the game before. He played it all season. And he did. He did a great job. Okay. What else can I say? There's not much else to say, Raider fans, except for we have to get ready for San Diego. Now, we have a bye week. We have time to rest. We have time to take a real good look at the Chargers and look at what they do best. What they do very well is defense, and I will get into that on the pregame show, which will be coming up here next week. Okay? Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was the statistics here. Randy Moss got 4 receptions for 123 yards, no touchdowns. Porter got 3 for 41, Anderson 2 for 32, and Lamont Jordan got 4 for 22. Those are good numbers, but I don't see one touchdown in the bunch there. We got a rushing touchdown. That was it. Zach Crockett got 1 carry for 2 yards. Now let's just look at that. 1 carry for 2 yards, and then just think if he got 3 carries for 2 yards, 3, 2, 4, 6. If he got 6 yards on the 4-yard line, that would have been a touchdown. That just infuriates me at the beginning of the game that they don't use their money man, the short yardage guy. Did anybody else forget about him? Am I the only guy? That just flipped me out. That would have been a guaranteed touchdown, not a field goal. Terry Glenn for the Cowboys did a great job. We had to watch him because he was a threat. He made some great plays. Okay, let's go back to penalties again. Way too many penalties. Less, but too many for a championship team. Way too many. When we have San Diego come into town, we have to eliminate that. They did a great job, though. They eliminated a lot of the penalties that they had in the past. However, you have to understand that penalties kill us. And not so much penalties, but penalties at the wrong time. If that penalty wasn't called on Warren Sapp, the Cowboys wouldn't have scored. What can I tell you? The Cowboys would not have scored. So penalties cost us at least one game. They cost us the Eagles game for sure. They cost us in the Kansas City game for sure. And those kind of things they'll take a toll on us. The other thing that's costing us is our low scoring. We're not scoring points. In the AFC, you better be scoring some touchdowns, or you ain't going to go nowhere. Because if you look at the competition through the league, especially in the AFC West, we got to score some points. You cannot allow the defense to be on the field as long as they are. That's not going to work. Kerry Collins going to have to take some chances and start looking around a little more, less fading back to pass, more looking to pass. His 7-step drop is killing us because in those 2 steps of the 7-step drop, okay, he's losing a receiver. He's losing a wide open receiver. Maybe Kerry Collins needs to get some glasses, new contact lenses. I don't know. But if he looks at the films, I cannot believe he's looking at the films and seeing these open receivers. It kills me. However, we did get the victory. Thank goodness we got a victory. And now we're 1-3-0, and we're going into the season, the next quarter, which is a crucial quarter, and we're facing a heck of a team. We have coming up the Chargers, which, to be honest with you, are not a joke. They're a serious team, but Denver beat them. We can beat them. We have the Chargers, the Bills, the Titans, and then we have the Chiefs as well. That's our next quarter. San Diego at home. We can beat them. We can beat them. We have a team that can beat them. We have to pump up our offense and make some more points. The defense is doing a great job. Their defense is very, very tough. We have the Bills. We definitely can beat the Bills. The Titans. We can beat the Titans. And you know what? We almost beat the Chiefs. We can beat the Chiefs. This team can do it. You know, we can be. And then we got the Redskins. Definitely a win. The Dolphins, a win. Then we go back to San Diego. Tough game. We got the Jets. There's another win. The Cleveland Browns. There's another win. The Broncos coming up. That's a tough game. And then we have the Giants. Another tough game. We can have a great season, Raider fans. Don't get me wrong. If we continue to improve like we have, we got a great chance at going into a championship game. However, look at the scores that we've lost by. The Patriots, 20-30. That was Penalty City. And it was our first game of the year, and it was away. I'm not even going to count that game. The Chiefs game, 23-17. We were in the whole game. Should have won that game. Penalties killed us. The Eagles, 23-20. That was another one we could have won. So close. Like I've told you before, this reminds me of the 1999 and 2000 seasons where we were so close, yet just not able to finish it up. This last game, we played all 4 quarters, and we did finish it up. However, it was a nail-biter at the end. These nail-biters at the end, doesn't matter. We got a W. I don't care. If we win 19-18, I could care less, as long as we get the W. In order to win these games, we need to score points. That's all I'm going to say. And I know the Raider fans are out there. They're pumped. They want to talk about being punked anymore. Talk about being punked. The 49ers got punked by the Cardinals. At 6 field goals the Cardinals made on them. 6! The only scoring they made was on their defense. So when you see the Niner fan in town, just look at him and go, "Where's your team now?" Because that's all I used to hear when the Niners are doing good. So let them have it now while you can, Raider fans. I always do. And until next time, you guys be safe. I'll talk to you before we'll have the pregame show against the Bolts. Coming up here pretty soon. Got a lot of studying to do. Thank you all, fans, for listening in. This is the Raider Nation Podcast, and I will be signing off. I'm out.